Hey, so today we're going to be talking about everything social media and what we can do to improve our consistency and actually monetize on social media. My number one strategy is going to be you're going to be doing 3 pieces of content every single day, rain or shine, 7 days a week, and it only takes minutes to do. You're literally going to just turn on your phone, and whether depending you're going to be doing long form content or short form content, I always suggest short form content. And what we're going to be doing is just literally whatever you're going to be talking about, whatever your video is, don't overthink about. Don't overthink it. You don't need to think about what you look like. You just need to show up authentically like yourself. And this is me. I am a hot mess when I wake up in the morning. I gave up coffee like 3 years ago, and I swear to you, it still messes with my mind. But that's okay, because that's me. So 3 pieces of content every day, first thing in the morning. Number 2 is you're going to get organized. You are going to create a checklist for yourself. I have a digital checklist, which is just an Amazon, it's a Google Sheet checklist that I've created myself that I just follow every single day, and I put my little check marks as I complete each task. So it could be written like this. You can write it down if you wanted to, and just checklist. I started that way, and literally you're going to put everything you need to complete in a day on that checklist. I still have a load of laundry on that checklist, I'll be honest. So every day I know that one of the first things I need to do is go into the laundry room and do 1 load of laundry. I love laundry, so it doesn't bother me much, but I know that there's people out there that are like, oh my God, no way. But have you ever heard that if you do something for 30 days, it becomes a habit? It is true, time and tested again and again and again. And the one thing that I can do is continue my checklist. It almost feels wrong if I don't complete it anymore. Now, every day you're not going to complete it, but you're going to do most of it. So, again, number 1, 3 pieces of content first thing in the morning. Literally, if you go to work and you're trying to do this as a side hustle, then you get up 30 minutes earlier. It literally only takes me 10 minutes a day to do my content. Again, do not overthink it. Don't, because then you're not showing up as you, and you're not going to attract your perfect customer. Okay? And then number 2 is we're going to get organized. We're going to create a to-do task list every single day that you need to do. Okay, you can even do that in Samsung Notes. Apple users, I don't know. I'm an Android fan. Just don't use Apple products. I was when they first came out, but you know what? I just like Android. It's easier for me to do because I'm not a tech savvy person. So that brings us to tip number 3, which is the length of your content. So you're going to create those 3 pieces of content. Your first piece of content, and I'm going short form, because that was easiest for me to monetize the fastest. And so we're talking TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram, that kind of stuff. And we are going to do, the first one's going to be 1 to 2 minutes. The second one is going to be less than 60 seconds. And the third one's going to be less than 30 seconds. This is going to get you used to talking fast, obtaining people's attention, and getting them not to scroll faster. And you'll be able to see on your analytics, which we'll go into other YouTubes about, that you know how your content is going to change and evolve over time. So the first pieces of content that you put out is not going to be the rest of your life. So remember, if you don't get started today, in 1 year when you look back and you're going to just start, you could have had a year's worth of progress. So again, just start and get those 3 pieces of content done. And tip number 4 is we're going to study hooks and call to actions. What do I mean by that? What gets you to stop scrolling? We're all professional scrollers now in society. So when you're scrolling on your phone, what gets you excited and what makes you stop? Do it. I set a timer on my phone for literally 20 minutes a day, because those rabbit holes, they can go deep, and before you know it, hours are gone. Hours. And there's nothing productive about it. So this is what I call productive scrolling, is you're going to be scrolling on your favorite social media app, and when you stop, you need to go, okay, what made me stop? Was it the color of their shirt? Was it their hair? Was it their glasses? Was it the way they looked? Or was it something that they said? Take those notes, because you're trying to find your perfect customer, and guess what? Your perfect customer is you. So if you take those notes and you're just like, oh, I'm scrolling, and I stop because of the way someone looks, then that may be something you need to take into consideration. But always, always take into consideration what they said. What they said first, the first words out of their mouth. Write it down. Write it down. So I do 20 minutes of productive scrolling every single day. It's on my task list. And what I'm doing is I'm scrolling. And when I find something that holds my attention, I write it down. Why? Because there's a lot of mornings where stuff is just going over my head and I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to create that day. I'm tired. I didn't get enough sleep, or I'm just not feeling in the creative mood. And guess what? I have a pad of paper here, or notebook, that tells me how to do something. Literally. And it could be easy as a red shirt. Trust me, you'll get there. And so before I go on to my tip number 5, just a little about me. I'm a forced stay-at-home mom. And what do I mean by that? Is I never wanted to be home. I never wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. My husband and I started having kids later on in life. I had my first daughter at 36. And I'm going to tell you, I worked my entire life, and that was my identity. That is how I measured my life and how I measured my own successes. So when one of us had to stay home, I needed to stay home. Why? Because my husband would not. No, I tried to get him to stay home, but he's like, no, that's not happening. And the way he was raised in the South. He's from Alabama, and it is just not okay. So I was like, fine, I'll stay home. But for 5 years, I lost me. I was depressed. I didn't like doing anything, and I literally just tried to get through the motions of every single day. And I couldn't figure out why I was like this. And I felt bad as a mom. I felt bad that I wasn't connecting with my children. I felt bad that I felt this way. And then a good friend of me asked me, what if nothing changes? What if nothing changes? And immediately it came out of my mouth. And I felt so guilty. And I still feel guilty when I say it, is I said that they are holding me back. My family is holding me back from being me. And I know that there's a lot of people out there like that. And at first I was like shocked that I even said it, because I love to cater to my family. I love to make them feel loved and cherished. But I didn't feel loved and cherished. So in 2017, I started is what I call professional side hustling. And I added a side hustle. And at first I was only looking to make $200 to $300 a month. Okay, just to be able to afford to take my kids to McDonald's when I wanted to be able to take them to 7-Eleven, because Lord, I would get in that car. Sometimes my kids were very close in age, or they are. They're about 1.5 years apart. And sometimes I just had it. So I'd put them in the car and drive around till they fell asleep. And sometimes I just wanted to stop off. I didn't want to feed them lunch before we went. I just wanted to go to 7-Eleven and get them a hot dog. Okay? But we were broke. We were broke. And I couldn't even afford a couple dollars, and I had to be careful in how much gas I used. So Fast forward to 2017, and my side hustle became lucrative. Like within the first month, you know, I made $500, and I was like, oh my God, I made $500. Do you know I could get the kids in that like little trampoline nation I wanted to put them in, and like, you know, go there before nap time, and you know, then on the way home they could nap the whole time, and I could just like actually get some peace and quiet, maybe watch a movie in the car where they're sleeping or something, you know. And then I started thinking, how can I put this on automation? So I hired a VA, and my VA controls that one. And now I added another one, and I built that one up. And my VA, I have a different VA for that one. I have 11 different streams of income because I am a strong advocate for never having all your eggs in one basket. Never, ever, ever. And so not only do I have time freedom with 11 streams of income, I can do anything I want to do. And it's like a laptop lifestyle because I do it all online. All online. All my ventures are online. And so it's been 7 years in the making, but it doesn't mean that you can't do it too. And then you're going to have me like, follow, subscribe, because I'm going to be teaching you everything that I know so that you can do this too. So, which leads me to tip number 5 is to actually pick your niche and choose one social media account. We're going to start with one at first, just one. And you're like, no, I want to do all of them. No, you don't. No, you don't. You need to choose one and get good at one. Now, everybody's learning curve is going to be different. It could be that it takes you 3 days and it takes me 3 months. That's okay. That is entirely okay. But until you're doing 3 pieces of content every single day in your niche, whatever you choose, whether it's gluten-free baking or making a coffee every day, and you know exactly what you're going to be filming, because we're going to go over that in some other YouTubes, and also finding your perfect customer in some other YouTubes. But this is just an overall. So go ahead and like, subscribe, and let's get started on your journey to financial freedom. And remember that if you do this every day in 30 days, it becomes a habit. Just imagine that. Just imagine where you can be in 30 days. Imagine where you can be in 6 months, and imagine where you can be in 1 year. It's amazing what your actions can take you to do. Until then, we'll see you in the next one.